Pixar movies whose ending you misunderstood, part 25. These are all actual criticisms I have seen in reviews of Elio, and congratulations, all of them misunderstand the film. Elio's loneliness is deserved because he has no social skills, disobeys authorities, and steals from people. My jaw actually dropped when my favorite movie reviewer said this passively in his review. Not every person or character who is quirky is autistic, but as someone on the autism spectrum myself, I saw a lot of autistic traits in Elio. Elio is obsessed with space and aliens, in large part because that was his escape as he was grieving the death of his parents at a very young age. He becomes so fixated on the idea of alien life taking him away that he often ignores reality, which leads him to do things like lie to kids so he can steal their radio. He lacks social skills because he never learned to develop them since he's isolated himself while he's been dealing with his grief in this way. Losing his parents was significant because Elio saw them as the only people who really understood him. Tia Olga doesn't really understand him the same way, in part because she was thrust into being a parent when she doesn't know how. And you sort of see that disconnect because Elio has this made-up language that only his parents knew, but Tia Olga refuses to learn. And Elio just assumes that Olga resents him because she had to give up being an astronaut in order to raise him. All of that culminates into the emotionality of the opening of the film, where Elio believes that he has to go to a different planet in order to find people that care about him. So yeah, you could argue that the reasons that Elio is lonely are self-inflicted, but that is ignoring the fact that he is a child whose brain doesn't work the same way as neurotypicals, and a child who at a very young age lost the only people that made him feel seen. That whole aspect of Elio's character is the emotional core of the film, and so to claim that that is trying too hard to be emotional is discrediting all of the nuances in the script. Everything here on out delves into spoiler territory, so be warned. Many of the conflicts in the film could have been resolved with basic conversation. Right, and Elio and Glorden's major character flaw is that they are afraid to have those conversations. They assume that they know how their respective family members will react, and they are afraid of the consequences of those assumptions. The resolution is built on them breaking down those barriers within their families and having open communication. That's like a major theme of the film, and that is what strengthens the bond between Elio and Olga and Glorden and Grygon. Elio's decision to not join the council and stay on Earth wasn't earned and only happened, quote, because that's how kids' films end. That is the culmination of Elio's entire character arc. As I just explained, the breakdown between Elio and Olga helps them better understand and love each other. Elio learns how to be a good friend because of his time with Glorden, and reconciling with Bryce and getting help from the ham radio operators shows Elio's ability to connect with people. Elio wanted to join the Communiverse because it was his way of escaping the Earth that he thought didn't care for him. But throughout the course of the film, he now sees that the people on Earth love and care about him more than he realized. Truly, it baffles me that people who review movies for a living miss these major aspects of the film.